Prepare yourself for the terror. The prison of madness, where few enter and none return.
Welcome to Unsung Horrors. With Lance. And Erica.
Leave all your sanity behind. It can't help you now.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Unsung Horrors, the podcast where we discuss underseen horror films, specifically those with less than 1,000 views on Letterboxd. I'm Lance.
I'm Erica.
And Erica, we are still in August.
Yes.
Which means that we're still celebrating our annual tradition of Shawgust.
Yes.
That's where we and our listeners just watch as many Shaw Brothers films as we can during the month. And during the month of August, we like to highlight Shaw Brothers horror films. Underseen horror films, those obviously fewer than 1,000 views on Letterboxd. So this time we're going to be talking about Hell Has No Boundary from 1982. As of this recording, it has 703 logs on Letterboxd. You can find it streaming on OK.ru, which is essentially Russia's YouTube, so it's safe for the most part.
Thanks, Russia, just for this, but that's all.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we find some good, hard to find movies there.
Yeah.
There's also some bootleg DVDs out there on eBay,
Sure.
but I have a strong feeling that this might be getting a Blu-ray treatment. It seems like a movie that will be put out to the world soon.
There's so many that are coming out. There's so many box sets that are coming out. Arrow, Shout Factory, Imprint just got in the game with their Shaw Shock set, which had Sexy on the Grave, which was our last episode. And as usual, every Shawgust, we have our same guest who is a regular contributor to multiple sets. There's been a lot happening in the last year that I've seen our guest contribute to. So welcome back, Ian.
Thank you. Yeah, the last year was a busy one for me. Without going into details that I cannot disclose right now, in the last year and a half, I did roughly a dozen commentaries for Show Factory, for Arrow, and for an Australian release of I'm spacing on the name of it. I did so many at the same time.
That's okay. No, your name.
Vengeance of a Snow Girl.
Okay.
It was Vengeance of a Snow Girl.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
So I got very burnt out on Shaw Brothers for a while. There is one release that I was involved in that has yet to be announced. Can't say anything about it except that your listeners are going to be very happy with it.
Oh.
Okay.
And that's all I will say. That's all I will say.
Excellent.
I was going to start guessing, but I'm not.
Don't guess because I mean, you can guess. I just can't give you answers.
Okay.
Right. Yeah,
So
it's definitely
guess away,
horror
but
adjacent, it sounds like, probably.
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've been doing a lot of my Shawgust watches came later in the month, doing a lot of Chor Yuen watches, including Haunted Tales, which I think Adam shared the link to that in our Discord.
Yeah.
Bat Without Wings, The Magic Blade, Sentimental Swordsman, and Jade Tiger, which Ian, I listened to your commentary for that. Excellent job as always.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. What have you been watching for Shawgust?
I've been watching. Yeah, I watched Bat Without Wings as well. God, what else have I been watching?
Bat Without Wings kind of rules.
It does. I'd never seen it before. Obviously, what we watched, Sex Beyond the Grave.
Right, yeah.
I had never seen Hell Has No Boundary before this episode. Ian, is this the first time you had watched it too before?
I went into it completely blind.
Oh,
I had never seen
Love
it.
those.
I had never seen it before. And when you said, "Hey, let's do Hell Has No Boundary," I was like, okay, I'm not even going to look this up on IMDb or anything. I'm just going to go in knowing nothing.
Excellent.
Sweet.
And I actually left it until last night to watch so that it would be
it's
fresh in my mind. Yeah. I took notes and stuff, but I had not seen it before the last 24 hours.
Wow. I can't wait to hear what you have to say about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll dig into it.
And we're going to need you to actually correct us if you can in any of these pronunciations of
Nope.
these names. Okay,
Nope.
no, okay, you're off the hook too.
We're just apologizing for everybody.
Yeah,
we're all going to butcher the names. It's fine. I do want to add one more thing to my sort of Shawgust pile here, because I went, I was like, I'm doing a deep dive on this. And I had seen this book that came out last year, and I was like, oh, that's cool, but I don't have a job, so I'm not going to buy that right now. I have a job now. Yay. And
yeah, me too.
Oh, thank you. I know. I heard you got impacted too. My God, this is the worst timeline. But
it's a mess.
I'm glad that we're both reemployed. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna grab that book and I'll have like another resource. So it is Shaw Brothers Masters of Kung Fu Cinema.
Looks like a picture book.
Okay, it is.
Yeah.
Because I did not, okay, so this is my fault for looking at it and not actually reading the description of it. Look how fucking thin this book is. It's basically they took the Wikipedias for all of these movies. There's a shit ton of typos in it, like some of the title, like there, look, Martell Club, not Marshall Club, like in big, it's all over this book. And I don't like to call someone out. I know how hard it is to like put something together, make a book, but like, look how thin this is. Yeah. You didn't put in a lot of time to it. And like, it's literally like the most useless book I've ever bought. So I'm really mad that I bought it. And I'm really mad that there's
you didn't look up how many pages it was?
I did not, because I saw the cover and I was like, cool, this is going to,
the cover looks cool.
The back of it says, this visually stunning book aims to delve deep into the cinematic wonder showcase, whatever. Delve deep. This is not a deep dive.
Delve deep visually.
Yeah, it's visually, very pretty. It's very pretty. It's got a lot of pictures, colors, nice thick pages. Yeah. But you didn't put anything in this book. So folks, don't buy this fucking book like I did. Happy Shawgust. Oh, sorry.
Oh, well, I mean, start working on your own Shaw Brothers.
No, I'm working on volume 2.
Oh yeah, Sweetest Taboo. Speaking of Sweetest Taboo, that's Hell Has No Boundaries in your first book.
Yes, it is.
So let me try and do a summary. I mean, obviously with these Shaw Brothers horrors, they're difficult to summarize. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give it a go. This one's real short. So we have May, who is a vice cop, and she and her cop boyfriend / fiance head out on a camping trip to celebrate her birthday. But May quickly becomes possessed by a vengeful spirit, the spirit of a young girl who was treated and murdered in a very gruesome manner during her short life. I think we'll talk about this particular flashback scene, but
it's so good.
Those who've read Erica's book, The Sweetest Taboo, probably already know what happens to the young girl. It's brutal, and it's why we love this movie. But May, she's possessed, which gives her these supernatural abilities, also changes her personality from kind-hearted to very mean-spirited. She begins to use her newfound powers to pretty much fuck up anyone who wrongs her. Mm-hmm. Her fiance, other cops, a reporter are trying to figure out what's going on and how May is connected. Also, this spirit possessing May has an agenda of her own due to past events, and this leads to a truly unhinged, supernatural, wonderful ending. Yeah, we're going to dive into the specifics and the details of this movie. Let's see what I can do with the crew and cast members. All right.
I have to interject really quickly.
Please do.
I did read Erica's book, and I forgot this was in there.
But
I read it like when I first got it.
Probably because you hadn't seen Hell Has No Boundary.
Yeah, I hadn't seen it. No, exactly. Yeah. So it was kind of like, oh, this sounds cool, and I went on to the next one. And did I tell you last year? I don't know if I'd read it last year or not. No, I hadn't, because when we recorded last August, I don't think I had the book yet. So I literally read your book while my wife was having surgery.
Oh.
Like in a hospital waiting room. So maybe not, in hindsight, the best spot
sure.
to read a book. Yeah, that's where I read it. So yeah, forgive me if I forgot that this was in the book.
It's fine. There's 1,200 movies in that book. I blame nobody I forget movies are in that book sometimes because they're like, oh, isn't this in there? And I was like, I don't know. Is it? Look in the index.
I know when I announced it, your face just lit up and you're like clapping and I'm like, oh, this is...
Well, because this is like... I remember like the 4 and 5 star kills. Yeah. So like this is up there.
Yeah, this was
in that respect.
Rated in that. Yeah, in your book, because I did go back and read your excerpt on it and stuff. It also has that cool little menu that you put together.
Oh yeah, it's in the Swift. It's on the menu. It's got the short ribs.
That's right. It's goat meat. Okay, so Hell Has No Boundary was directed by Chuan Yong. I couldn't find too much information on him, but I'll share what I did learn, and you guys feel free to interject if you have any information. He directed roughly 50 films starting in the late 50s. He was born in Guangzhou, China, and he moved to Hong Kong when he was 17. And he began his film career at the age of 25, enrolling in the China Film Academy in 1956, studying screenwriting and directing. And a few years later, in 1959, he wrote and directed his first film, a horror movie with such a good title, Flying Corpse on a Foggy Night. I couldn't find this anywhere.
I tried to.
Yeah.
No luck.
Piper, can you stop licking your pooter? Piper, thank you. Thank you. Good girl.
Adding a little ambiance. It
No.
sounds like a Shaw Brothers soundtrack in the
No.
background.
Like eating maggots. Piper's eating her butt.
He then joined a motion picture company called Taoyuan Motion Picture and signed on as an assistant director until 1963, when he left to begin making films as an independent filmmaker. And he directed some very successful films during this time, including one based on a popular TV character named Tam Bing Man, which Young made a comedy feature after called The Country Bumpkin in 1974. And this film was apparently one of the top 10 highest grossing Hong Kong films that year. So studios obviously went after him. And he signed with the independent production company Goldig Films in late 1974. So the majority of his filmography that he directed, he pretty much was all independent or for other studios other than Shaw Brothers. He signed with Shaw Brothers in 1982, and he only directed 5 films that I know of with him. Hell Has No Boundary being his first. And then in 1986, he wanted to become an independent director again, and he remained one until his last movie in 1996 or 1995, although he does have some directing credits on IMDb in the early 2000s, but that seemed to be like previously shot footage that filmmakers used. He passed away at the age of 81 in 2012 in New York, where he had been living for a number of years. But we brought up a few of his films in past episodes, particularly in Shawgust. First off, he directed the beautifully touching, very family-friendly, uplifting classic Seeding of a Ghost from 1983.
Movie is so fucking good.
Yeah.
It is. It's like top 3. It's right up there for me.
Yeah.
Like my favorites are Corpse Mania and The Boxer's Omen, but I'm putting Seeding of a Ghost up there. I just rewatched that too.
Yeah.
I watched it last year. I mean, I've seen it, I don't know how many times at this point, but my wife and my stepson had never seen it, so we watched it together. I just, every time that ending.
It
does. It really does.
Was anybody in surgery at the time you were watching?
No. Thankfully, not this time.
I love his one of his later movies, 1994's Bloody Beast. I think I turned you on to the.
I just, for last year for our Horror Gives Back October challenge for the Sweetest Taboo category.
Okay. Yeah.
Because obviously it has nice child kills.
This one is got those unhinged moments of it. It's category 3 film. It's about a guy who he gets sexually aroused by women who are breastfeeding, just cow juice.
Cow juice.
Whatever,
yes.
women juice, whatever. It's all disgusting.
Say what?
But yeah, I love that one too. So, I mean, his top line on Letterboxd is like, banger, banger, banger.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I watched a few of his earlier action films while he was working for Goldig Films in the late 70s. A Bruceploitation film called Storming Attacks in 1978, also known as The Image of Bruce Lee. And this stars Ho Chun Tao, Bruce Lee.
Okay.
I had a lot of fun watching this. I really liked all the characters. It got really stupid. I think they changed the name because one of the characters in the movie tells him he looks just like Bruce Lee.
Oh, is this one in that Bruceploitation set? I haven't watched this one yet.
Actually, I didn't look at. I don't think it was. It does have Bolo Young in it as one of the main. Bolo Lung in it as one of the main 2 villains in this, and basically him and Bruce Lee fight each other a dozen times throughout the movie.
Oh,
so
maybe I'm thinking of the other one that's in his filmography, The Duel of the 7 Tigers. Because you watched that one too,
I did watch that one too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen that one too. That one's a lot of fun.
That one is good. It has a great kind of, I think that's the one that had that's the cold open was for Storming Attacks, where there's an older gentleman who's going to commit suicide and Bruce Lee grabs his arm to save him, but unfortunately it's a prosthetic arm, so it pops off and down he goes. This isn't
happen.
Yeah, that's like in the first like 2 minutes of the movie. No spoilers, but it's a great cold open. I'm like, okay, this movie's gonna.
That's awesome.
It's got a lot of Philip Coe in it. I always like watching Philip
love
Coe.
him.
Yes,
Around.
Yeah, Duel of the Seven Tigers. That actually, I found it a little. Some of the characters were boring, but his character just steals the show. Him and his final fights are like worth watching for sure.
If I remember right, though, he's cast as a Japanese guy too.
He is.
Yeah.
Wasn't he cast? He's in Sex Beyond the Grave as a
Japanese.
as a Japanese
Yeah.
general.
Yeah, soldier. Yeah.
Yeah, those two movies were fun watching. Also, I saw that director Chuan Yong has some small roles in a few movies, acting roles, including Twin Dragons with Jackie Chan.
I think he's like in the background somewhere.
Yeah, he's probably just some guy walking around. But I saw that because I watched that for the first time a couple of years ago, and I was like,
"Oh, it's a blast!
It's so funny." Like, the twin brothers can feel when another's on a speedboat, or it's so ridiculous.
It makes me miss when Jackie Chan was good.
Right, exactly.
I said it. I'm sorry. I said
That's okay. You don't need to apologize
like
for
The
saying
Foreigner?
accurate things.
So Hell Has No Boundary was produced by Lady Shaw, Miss Mona Fung, who we've chatted about plenty in past Shawgust episodes. We've also talked about the Shaw Brothers master editor Cheng Xing Lung, who's edited about 800 Shaw Brothers movies. So we don't really have to dive into him. The original score, which I think is great, it's a combination of probably pre-existing scores from So Yan Hao and Stephen Xing Gang Wing, who each have had a hand in probably at least one of your favorite Shaw Brothers films. These include The Boxer's Omen, Five Element Ninjas, Bewitched, Seeding of a Ghost, Human Lanterns, the list goes on and on. I also read, I don't know if you guys heard it or know of this scene, but somebody pointed out that Phantasm was used or it was recreated, the Phantasm theme.
I mean,
I missed that.
I missed it, but it gets used I've heard it in so many Shaw Brothers movies, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, that's what I was, because didn't we talk about it in Sex Beyond the Grave? Or?
I think, we did.
Because it seems to pop up, seems to be a favorite of the Shaw Brothers horror.
No one tell Don Coscarelli, otherwise we're going to have a hard time getting some of these released.
Yeah, true.
And lastly, the only other cast member or crew member I have is cinematographer Chen Cheng Ma, who filmed Centipede Horror in 1982.
Hell yeah.
Which I love. I love hate. I have a love-hate relationship with that movie.
I think a lot of people do.
I think it was my double feature pick for Bewitched years ago. Mm-hmm. But he was...
I kind of just love it.
Yeah.
Oh no, I love it. Like, but I understand why some people are like about it. Like, I get it. Yeah. It's fine. You know,
a lot of bug deaths.
That, and I think like
that doesn't bother me. It's just kind of, I don't know. Like it doesn't suck me in. I feel like it goes for the gross factor, and that's kind of it for me.
It really does.
Like that's all they're kind of delivering for me, and I'm like, I need a little more.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I love about it, though. It's just gross. Yeah, and there's not really anything else more to go on there. It's just gross. I respect that.
Yeah.
But he also is a DP for Bastard Swordsman films and Holy Flame of the Martial World. Okay, for cast, we have Leanne Liu, who is playing May, the woman possessed and who's causing all the killing and horror in this. She acted in 12 Shaw Brothers films that I could find from 1982 to 1985. Hell Has No Boundary being her first. She starred as a title character in The Lady Assassin. She was in both Bastard Swordsman movies, Holy Flame of the Martial World. So yeah, she had a nice but short career in Shaw Brothers films because she ended up moving to Taiwan, becoming one of the most well-known actresses in Chinese television, apparently one of the highest paid television actresses there currently.
She also pops up, if I'm correct, in 8 Diagram Bullfighter.
She does, yeah.
Yeah, which I will defend as the best Shaw Brothers action film of the 80s.
I
will fight anybody who disagrees with me on it.
I love that movie. It's I love it so much.
Best two-smashing movie ever.
Oh, 100. My teeth hurt after that. I was like, oh, Lord. One of the ones that I watched this year for a child death that she's in was Opium and the Kung Fu Master, which I really liked. You got to watch T Long get addicted to opium, so that was fun.
I did the commentary on that one.
You did? Okay, I just watched it. I haven't done the commentary on that one though, so I'll check it out.
Me rambling on about the history of opium use in China and racial stereotypes and stuff.
I'm here for it. I am here for it. I love your like side quests into like those details. So
if I didn't have side quests, there's no way I could fill 90 minutes.
No, I loved like your side quest into like jade and like white jade for Jade Tiger. So like I get it.
Oh, I fell down a big rabbit hole there. Yeah.
She's great. And what I love about her, sort of getting back to centipede horror is that Hong Kong actresses, like especially those who are in horror films, they're just built differently, like she's eating maggots or mealworms or whatever in this. Yeah. I'm skipping ahead to the best part of this movie, but she's drinking out of a toilet. She's taking a bath in the toilet water. The fucking woman in centipede horror, she's got centipedes coming in and out of her mouth. I'm sorry, Jamie Lee Curtis could never no, they're just built differently there. Like,
I don't even know if any like American actresses would entertain this idea.
No, I don't think so.
Definitely not.
Yeah, I'm just giving like random horror movie person example, but like I love how much they just are like, oh yeah, let's fucking shove some maggots in my mouth. I don't care.
Yeah, she goes for it, and it's not like you might expect like a gross looking actress to do that. It's not you would expect it, but it might be maybe more anticipated, I guess. But she's, I think, super pretty, and to see her then like shove a mouthful of maggots, it's like no, she's just going for it. Like she doesn't care. She's into the role.
Yeah, it's mad respect.
Full marks for her.
Yeah, because she is like she's the cutest possessed woman ever. Sorry, Reagan, I'm throwing you to the curb. It's Leanne Liu.
She's up there. Yeah, she's up there.
And we also have Derek Yi Tung Sing plays Chung. Is that it? What they call him?
Yeah,
Chung.
Yep.
May's boyfriend / fiance. And speaking of boyfriend, Derek Yi was a former boyfriend of Hong Kong actress Maggie Cheung, which I read online, and I was like, well, lucky you, Derek Yi.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah, who he acted with in The Seventh Curse. He had a small role in that movie. But even more interesting is that he's the younger half-brother of Shaw Brothers actor David Chang. So kind of following in his brother's footsteps, he started acting in Shaw Brothers films at age 20. He acted in about 40 of them in a 12-year period. Some of those included Bat Without Wings, Death Duel, Buddha's Palm, and The Sentimental Swordsman. And he continued acting into the late 90s, but for the last 25 years or so, he's been writing, directing, and producing films and television series. I guess his most popular directed films are probably, Ian is probably not a fan, but Shinjuku Incident starring Jackie Chan, and or Viva Erotica in 1996, which Connie released.
Yeah, it's almost certainly Viva Erotica, I would think, behind the camera. He does pop up in Jade Tiger, too.
Yep.
I will make a case for he directed a movie in 1987 called People's Hero or The People's Hero. A lot of people would probably call this like a Dog Day Afternoon ripoff. I watched this a couple of years ago, I think, but I gave it 3.5 stars. So that to me is like something I really liked.
Yeah, 3.5 is good.
Yeah. Some of the other ones like that he's been in as far as acting goes, outside of Shaw Brothers, like Magnificent Warriors and Seventh Curse, like I love those. As far as Shaw Brothers goes, Black Lizard and Descendant of the Sun, the latter being like Shaw Brothers Superman ripoff, super fun. So I've probably mentioned it on like previous Shawgust episodes, but if I haven't, hard recommend.
Then we have Koo, the reporter, played by Kent Tong. This is one of his first film roles. He started acting with some brief TV roles. He was in the Hong Kong horror Red Spells Red. And he had a small part in Sammo Hung's Eastern Condors. But he's still acting, but most of his recent roles are predominantly TV series. But he has a ton of credits.
One of which is Police Story, back when Jackie Chan was good.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I have Yue Hua, who plays Inspector Wong. He's another Shaw Brothers regular. He started acting with the Shaw Brothers when he was 20, acted in roughly 100 films with them during a 20-year period. Co-starring in films like, he starred in Come Drink With Me. That was kind of his big breakout with the studios. He's in Killer Darts. Obviously, he's in The Jade Tiger. He also had some small roles in some well-known non-Shaw Brother films like Rumble in the Bronx, Another one that we can applaud, right, for Jackie Chan.
Yep. He was still good then.
Good. And in the last movie, too, he was married to Ni Tien, who we've talked about quite a bit. She's kind of in the best of Shaw Brothers horrors, including Corpse Mania, Black Magic's 1 and 2, Hex, Human Lanterns. But they were married for 40 years until Hua passed away in 2018.
Yeah. I think most people might know him better as Elliot Knock. But I think besides the ones that you mentioned, there's a couple of other Shaw Brothers, like in Web of Death, that I really like. Ian, you did the commentary on Web of Death, right?
I did.
Yes.
I also did the commentary on Lady of Steel, which he shows up in.
Okay.
And he pops up in, if I remember right, the first Black Magic film.
Yes.
And he's definitely in Intimate Confessions of a Chinese Courtesan, which everyone should see.
Yeah, for sure. There's another one, one of my Shaw Brothers like favorites. It's a Kui Chi Hung movie called Payment in Blood. I've only seen this with a German dub. Like I could not find,
but with English subtitle.
No, none of that. Like so,
okay.
This is in the book. Like I had to watch this with a German dub, but the plot is easy enough to figure out that I could follow what was happening. But this is one that I really hope gets a release and restoration so I can finally like actually watch it. Was another one he was in. The Imp, which is really fun. You mentioned that, I think. And then there's this other sort of gritty crime thriller called Coolie Killer that I would recommend folks check out too.
Nice. Any other cast members you guys want to chat about?
Wang Hen Chen. He plays Ku's boss. He was very prolific, 215 credits between 68 and 92. A couple of highlights we got to mention. 1974's Virgin of the Seven Seas. I don't know if you guys have seen that one or not. Co-directed by Kui Chi Hung and Ernst Hofbauer, who was a German director who sexploitation fans are going to know for his work in the 70s on a bunch of softcore films like the Schoolgirl Report movies. This Virgins of the Seven Seas is a pretty amazing mix of 70s sexploitation tropes and martial arts with lots of naked German girls in it. And Yua Hua is in the lead role on that one as well. He also shows up in Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires, the Shaw Hammer co-production. It's pretty cool to see him cast beside Peter Cushing.
Nice.
A few other career highlights. I have to shout out Oily Maniac anytime I can. He shows up in that. It is one of the greatest films ever made in the history of everything. And he's in Mighty Peking Man, the King Kong knockoff that Shaw Brothers made a year later. He's in 36 Chamber of Shaolin, which isn't as good as 8 Diagram Pole Fighter. He's in 5 Deadly Venoms. He's in Masked Avengers. He's in Corpse Mania, 81 for all those. Busy year for the guy. Legendary Weapons of China. But there's one more guy we got to talk about, and that's the horny police chief. And he's played by Lo Yun, who also starred in Hex After Hex, also made in 1982. And I don't know him from anything else, but I really don't. But he has the best death scene in the movie, which I'm sure we'll talk about shortly.
Yes.
And then
it's my second favorite because I think everyone knows what my first favorite is.
Of course. But we got to get to the toilet paper death shortly. That's a spoiler. Oh shit.
Yeah.
But then Madam Chi is also played by Teresa Ha Ping, who I don't think we mentioned earlier. And she was a big deal in Hong Kong cinema in the late 50s through the 70s. And she appeared in a lot of romance and drama films and the occasional genre picture as well. She worked with Shaw Brothers a few times. 1970s Apartment for Ladies, which is a musical comedy. That was a really big hit for them at the time. She also shows up in Ghost Eyes, which we covered.
She usually always plays like this madam kind of knowledge of, person of knowledge that holds.
At this point in her career, like as she got older, she was like the wise older lady in the genre films. But she pops up in Big Bad Sis, which is excellent. She pops up in Battle Wizard. She pops up in Disco Bumpkins, which Erica probably still needs to watch. And Bloody Parrot, Human Lanterns. She's in those as well. She worked a long time. She kept working until after the Shaws closed up and appeared in some 90s sleaze films like Call Girl 92 and Raped by an Angel, as well as Raped by an Angel 2, the Uniform Fan.
Wow.
So there you go. And she's also in Flashpoint, the Donnie Yen film from, I think it's 2007, which features Donnie Yen just like punching a lot of people in the face.
As he does.
So he's good at that.
Yeah, I had her listed on my notes too for like her playing a mother in a couple of Cat 3 films. So Raped by an Angel and Love to Kill, another one she was in. So
yeah, it's kind of surprising to see her show up in a lot of the sleazier films, given that like in the late 50s, early 60s, even into the early 70s, like she was I don't know if she was A-list Shaw material, but if she wasn't, she was close.
Yeah. Love to see it, though.
For sure.
Yeah, hundreds and hundreds of credits. Cool. Any other cast members?
No, that's all I got.
Same.
Let's dive in.
Yeah.
So I love how this thing starts. First off, the opening credits. I'm always sold when you get green lit, bubbly slime and maggots, and we've always talked about. I think, especially for the Ghost Eyes movie, there's kind of like this Italian horror look to a lot of these Shaw Brothers horrors with the lighting. And this opening sequence, I mean, it could be confused as like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie or something, like an origin moment.
But I didn't make that connection, but you're spot on.
And it has like these, the very beginning too, when they're going to, I already said that they go off to a little island to celebrate May's birthday, and there's this music that's playing, these random kind of acoustic guitar inserts that sound very kind of Cannibal Holocaust, Riz Ortolani, Fabio Frizzi, obviously there's this Italian horror inspiration vibe that I get from the very beginning.
Yeah.
You mentioned the birthday aspect, and when my wife and I watched it last night, if I remember correctly, the first line of dialogue in the film is in English when Shung says to May, "Happy birthday," and then he sounds very different for the rest of the film.
Yeah, and
I think it was just like maybe a voice actor that they threw in there or something. I don't know. It didn't seem to me that like it suited his voice much, but I also know like a lot of times, like people from Hong Kong, when they speak English, they do it with a slight British accent. So maybe that was part of it.
Okay.
That was just a odd little second.
I mean, there's a lot of odd shit in this movie.
Comprised almost entirely of odd shit. Yeah.
Yeah. I can say with absolute certainty, though, that, I mean, she seems to enjoy camping. I myself, hard no. Like if John were to be like, "Oh, I'm going to take you camping for your birthday," I'd be like,
specifically tent camping, or would you do cabin camping?
No, I don't want to camp.
What? Come on now.
Fuck off. No camping.
I love it.
I do not care for it. And if John took me camping for my birthday, I would break up with him. I'd be like, "You don't even know who I am. Like, don't take me out of the comfort of my home."
You poke him with like a marshmallow, like a s'mores marshmallow.
I can do that over my stove. Like I can roast a marshmallow. I can buy s'mores at the grocery store. I don't need to like assemble it and put it over a campfire. No, thank you. No.
No good.
I almost got killed by a horde of raccoons at a campfire once.
See, this is why you don't go camping.
Yeah. Well, this sounds like a great story. That's why you go camping.
Oh.
How many raccoons are they talking?
I would love to hear it.
Oh, a good dozen.
What?
So when I lived in Oregon, my ex-wife and I went camping in a park on the Washington coast. Beautiful, beautiful spot. Appropriately named Cape Disappointment. I'm not lying about that. And after a lovely night of hanging out on the beach, we went back and were sitting around the campfire, drinking some sangria, just hanging out. And we had a dog, a Chihuahua Min Pin mix, very tiny dog. And the dog started growling. I was like, "What's going on here? There's something out in the woods near us." And I was like, "Oh, there's a raccoon on the other side of the fire." Okay, well, it's just a raccoon, no big deal. And then there were 2 raccoons, and then there were 3. And they kept multiplying. And all of a sudden, I realized I'm surrounded by like 15 raccoons, and the dog is not going to be any defense whatsoever because the dog is 5.5 pounds.
Yeah.
So I throw the dog in the car. I tell my ex, "Hey, throw everything in the car. Just wait in the car because this is getting freaky." And so I grab my fishing pole and I start like poking at the raccoons to get them go away. And they get up on their hind legs and start hissing at me.
Oh, geez.
So I grabbed a log out of the fire that was like partially lit and I started like pushing at them with that, hoping that would make them go away. So I was literally running around a campfire with a flaming log in my hands, trying to get raccoons to go away because I don't want to hurt animals. I like animals for the most part, but I also don't want a whole bunch of crazy raccoons killing my dog or trying to bite me. So I was running around with a flaming log. They wouldn't go away. Like they would go into the woods a little bit. And then when I left, they would kind of come back and encroach on us again. So yeah, I told my ex, I was like, "Just get in the car, keep the dog with you." And I literally threw everything in the tent, rolled the tent up, tossed it in the back of my car. And this was like, I want to say about 2 or 3 in the morning. And drove 5 hours back to Portland from there. I had to stop and get one of those 5-hour energy shots from like a truck stop, which I had never had before. And those are really gross, but it did get me home. So the moral of the story is if you go camping in Cape Disappointment, watch out for raccoons because there's a lot of them there and they're not friendly.
Yeah, well, apparently, like the first one was like the Warriors one, like clanging the bottles.
Yes, exactly, exactly. I swear to God, like I grew up in Canada. My family has property in the northern part of Ontario on a lake, and every once in a while, a raccoon will walk by. Like I'm not specifically freaked out by raccoons. I had a family of them living under my porch when I lived in Oregon, and I was able to get rid of them. Pro tip: vinegar. That works. I wasn't really freaked out by them, but like being surrounded by them in the middle of the night, in the middle of the woods, is a different story, and it was scary.
Yeah,
I don't want to have to do that again. So I don't think I've been camping since.
see, camping is not fun.
I mean,
I did enjoy it prior to that.
Well, yeah, but the raccoons ruined it. See, something's always going to ruin your camping trip, and it's usually
do cabin. Rent a cabin.
No, stop trying to get me to camp. Stop trying to make camping happen, Lance. We're going camping. No,
I'll go camping.
Okay, thanks.
You guys go camping,
but in a cabin. Because there might be raccoons outside.
Yeah.
But we got to also search the place for spiders first.
Okay.
I can now picture if we have a cabin, there's a knock on the door, and we look out the cabin peephole, and it's just this darkened face with a hat, and you open it up, and it's raccoons in a trench coat standing up. And we're here for Ian.
That's how I'll die. Or getting back to the movie, I will either die from an elevator or a falling air conditioner. Living in New York right now, these are things that I genuinely worry about on a regular basis. So especially in the summer when everyone's got their air conditioners and their windows cranked up to 11. And as I have to walk from Grand Central Station like 5 blocks to the office for my job. And as I'm walking around, I'm like looking up. Oh my God, there's a lot of air conditioners. You could fall on me at any moment.
Yeah, that would be a phobia of mine. I mean, that is terrifying.
I've seen enough videos of like just things falling from apartments or buildings in cities like New York, Chicago, whatever, to just constantly be like on guard about that. But
yeah.
I do respect how in this movie, how no one is safe from any type of from death or any situation. Because like when Chung's just walking and an AC unit falls on him, it just comes out of nowhere. Mad respect. The reporter Koo's also shot, and he's kind of taken out of the picture.
Yeah,
you know what I respect?
What's that?
When May gets possessed and solves that Rubik's Cube like a champ.
Yeah. Well, yeah. As soon as the very beginning, she's just like during the credits. I think it's right before he says "Happy Birthday." I'm like, why is she? There's got to be meaning here. This is going to be brought up because she's been finagling with that Rubik's Cube for a while.
Yep. There's a lot of weird kind of 80s nonsense in this movie. Like, I don't know how much attention you guys pay to dumb shit in the background, but like that's kind of my thing. Like, obviously, like the Coca-Cola and Sprite placement is through the roof.
Yeah.
There's the Rubik's Cube. There's Ah Chung's martini hat.
He loves John Travolta. He's got like
the John Travolta posters.
I thought I saw like Leif Garrett. Like there was weird posters on that wall.
I spent like an hour today when I was thinking about my double feature. I was like, what other movies feature John Travolta posters in the background on the wall? I couldn't find any other ones. I'm sure there's multiples out there.
Yeah.
Like there's got to be like a bad porno or something out there with a John Travolta poster in the background. I couldn't find one. So that didn't factor into my double feature.
It reminded me of
but I wanted it to.
Is it Primal Rage where there's like a random Spuds MacKenzie surfing poster?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got very excited for a minute because in the scene, it's also one of my favorite things in these Hong Kong films where they call the rapist a sex maniac in the transcription. Where in the apartment he's holding up those hostages, he kicks what at first I thought was the Noid. I thought it was an inflatable Noid. I got so excited. I was like, oh my God, I had to rewind it. I'm like, oh, it's actually just like a red bunny with a white face.
Yeah.
But have you guys heard about the story about the Noid hostage story that ultimately theoretically is rumored to have caused the end of Domino's using this as a mascot?
Because someone couldn't avoid the Noid?
No,
I have not heard this story, but I hope I'm going to now.
Okay, let's do it. Yeah. This is my raccoon story.
Time. Here we go. Look, now I got to come up with one. All right.
You do.
Okay, so we have a lot of young listeners. So I'm just going to give a background real quick. The Noid was a mascot created for Domino's Pizza back in the mid to late 80s.
I'm so old.
I know. And he was this creepy looking, kind of like man. I mean, he may not have been a man. I don't know, but he was. It wasn't an actor. He was usually like animated or it was like claymation, claymation stop motion stuff.
Can we even assign a gender to the Noid?
I think he's
male.
gender fluid. I would say he's male, but he could be like non-binary or something.
Yeah.
Gender, who knows? He was like an alien or something.
Yeah.
But his job was to stop Domino's from delivering pizzas to your house. So Domino's promised to have your pizza delivered to you within 30 minutes of ordering by phone, by the way, these things called rotary phones. And so the slogan was avoid the Noid, right? And there were tons of commercials, even like Nintendo made a video game, obviously all sorts of merchandise, which is why I got very excited when I saw this in the movie. But it was hugely successful, profitable advertising marketing idea, right? But in early 1989, a mentally ill man entered a Domino's Pizza, right? In Georgia, the U.S. state of Georgia, with a 357 Magnum. And he held 2 employees hostage for hours because he believed that the avoid the Noid slogan was a personal attack on him. Why? Because his name was Kenneth Noid.
Oh, wow.
And he claimed that Domino's stole his name and was making these commercials and this advertising campaign to antagonize him. So he demanded the employees to call the head office, give him $100,000. When the police showed up, he asked for a limousine for as a getaway car.
Yeah, obviously.
It was a huge standoff with the Noid.
Damn.
And yeah, while he was demanding all this money and going back and forth with the cops, he was there for over 5 hours and he got hungry. So he told the employees to make him a pizza. And when he started eating, he put his 357 Magnum down and the employees were able to run away. The hostages ran out and he was caught. And like months later, Domino's just killed the whole Noid, avoid the Noid. And they claim it wasn't because of this incident, but come on.
It was.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy though? Like I kind of dove into this. Like, I'd heard about it and I was reminded of it when I saw the Noid and I was like, okay, please let that be the Noid.
Oh, that's in your notes for the show?
I have the hostage.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
but
funny.
No, when Ian brought up the whole 80s, that is one of my favorite things too. When I see these products of, our time popping up, I get very excited. Like I want to call Sarah and be all, Sarah, there's John Travolta on the
right. Wall. Well, I love that just like from the get-go, it sets the tone for child endangerment. Because, May gets possessed. She nearly drowns a kid for stealing their Coke and Sprite. One or the other.
Well, going back to the Coke placement, they have like 12 unopened cans of Coke and Sprite on their blanket.
Yeah.
But then it shows up in there's one shot where you're looking out of a fridge or looking in the fridge and it's there.
Yeah.
And they're sitting in another shot where they're sitting around a table and like one guy's got a Coke, the other guy's got a Sprite. Like that could not have been an accident any more so than like J&B in the Giallos.
It's like it's like Subway and Happy Gilmore movies or something.
Yeah.
Why you
Or
Adam Sandler into this?
Sorry. We could change the subject from Adam Sandler to Dolph Lundgren for a second, if you like.
Yes, please.
Oh.
So have you seen Kindergarten Cop 2?
No.
I have not.
So there's a Kindergarten Cop 2, and Dolph Lundgren is the star. And throughout the movie, he keeps specifically requesting Twix bars.
Well,
and he eats Twix like multiple times throughout the movie. And then I guess I'm spoiling this. So like fast forward ahead 30 seconds if you don't want me to spoil the end of Kindergarten Cop 2. But there's a scene where Dolph, being a big, beefy, muscular man, is pushing like a snack vending machine down a hall because guys are, I think they're shooting at him or something. It's been a while since I watched this and I'm not going to watch it again. And like as the snack machine is getting closer and closer to the camera, the Twix bar in the snack machine
of course.
is getting closer and closer to the camera.
It's like in the what's the Jean-Claude Van Damme, Dennis Rodman movie, Double Team?
Double Team.
And he uses a Coke machine.
Oh yeah.
To like push down and block the gunfire or something like that. Anyway, it's fantastic. Like I love like appliances being used like that. Vending machines count to me as an appliance, but yeah. So child endangerment, near drowning at the opening, plus we get to the hostage situation. Those kids are tied up. One of them gets like manhandled, pulled by her hair.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't even gotten to May's possessed spirit killing, in the flashback yet, which is just like the ultimate child endangerment, like not even endangerment, like it's just beyond that. It's so good.
It's entrails.
Let's just we can get right to it. Like this episode, I mean, is like the movie itself. It's chaotic. We're all over the place telling stories of.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it.
Yeah.
So if we want to talk about what happens to the spirit in the past life, where ultimately all these characters are connected and related in past lives during, what is it, the Japanese War or something? And
Japanese occupation of Hong Kong. And so there's another connection to the last film that we covered, Sex Beyond the Grave, where it opens with a really terrible assault by a Japanese soldier, Philip Ko, during like the occupation, during like their Black Christmas. So here, the flashback where we learn like where this spirit came from is that it was a little girl whose family, or her mother specifically, sold her to some other people because they were just completely out of money. Those people suffocated her, dissected her, stuffed her with drugs, put her like on the woman piggyback to cross the border, pretending like she was just sick. Then when they got across the border, they open her up, take out the drugs, and then a butcher or restaurant owner happens to be walking by, sees a little girl, cuts her up, and serves her as goat meat at his restaurant. And then if we jump to the end, she hasn't even had the end of it yet, because like when she's possessed as May, she gets burned to death, then eaten by stray dogs.
Yeah, very cute stray dogs,
They
by the
are
way.
adorable.
It's worth it though if you can solve a Rubik's Cube in like 20 seconds.
I would totally take over. I'd be possessed if I could do that. That's a great party
Did
trick.
you guys notice though, like during the World War II flashback scene, again, this is like my OCD about watching things in the background rather than what the central characters are doing in a movie. So like during the Japanese occupation scene, it looks like in the background there's a Japanese soldier taking pictures of a naked woman.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see he's like doing like a weird porno shoot or something in the background, and then I think she might get raped off screen, and then she's dead.
Yeah,
I think so. Like, I mean, they're definitely like groping and manhandling the attractive young women, and then one of them gets pulled off to the side, strips, and then he starts taking photos of her. I assumed she got raped, even though they surprisingly didn't show it.
Right.
But yeah, it's just, I think it's just one of those things that's just further emphasizing, like, look how shitty the Japanese were to
how
us
mean
during this time.
spirited they are, and just
with obviously super common in not just Shaw Brothers films, but
but it's funny
films in general.
Like Men Behind the Sun or something.
And I got Men Behind the Sun vibes from the flashback scene, because maybe that's just because I like literally rewatched it a week ago for the first time.
I did too.
A couple of decades. Did you really?
Yeah.
They had one of the actors, the guy who was holding them hostage, there was a Chow King Pin. He's the maniac in it. So he had a bunch of small roles in like bangers, Five Deadly Venoms, Five Element Ninjas, Crippled Avengers, Kid with the Golden Arm. But he's also in T.F. Moo's Men Behind the Sun as well. Oh. So there's your connection to that. But
very nice.
I think it's funny that they have this happening at the border. Like, oh, look how shitty the Japanese were, when it's like these people literally have a dead child stuck with drugs on their back crossing the border.
It's like a whole, hey, look over here, and throw the ball the other way. Yeah.
That's obviously my favorite death in it, because it's just one of the most unhinged child deaths ever. The second favorite, though, is, of course, Inspector Ho. Ian, you brought it up earlier. So
horny cop boss.
I know. I got to let you talk about it, because it's so good.
So May, once she's possessed / gained weird supernatural superpowers, I love that she uses her ghost superpowers to fudge her letter of recommendation.
Oh yeah, I love that.
She gets a promotion.
Yeah, she changes from like doubtful behavior to superb, and I'm like, this is magic.
And then her new boss is the horny police chief guy who coerces her into going to a disco, and so she's out there dancing with him, and he's kind of a bit of a dick. But then they go back to her place, and he wants to get it on, and she's like, "Yeah, all right, we'll get it on, but you got to have a bath first, probably because like he's greasy and gross." That's what I'm thinking. I was like, "Oh, she's just into hygiene, right? That's fair, fine."
Yeah, respect.
We've all been there. And then he gets in the bathtub and his dick gets cut off by a crab. And then he gets out of the bathtub holding himself, blood everywhere. And then haunted toilet paper starts wrapping its way around his face and his neck.
The world's strongest toilet paper.
World's strongest. And then it's death by crab castration, toilet paper strangulation. I don't know how else to describe it, but it was amazing. And if nothing else, if the rest of that movie had just been like, I don't know, Bette Midler reading the phone book, I wouldn't have cared, because that scene in and of itself makes it worth sitting through 90 minutes of nonsense.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah. Yeah, that scene is probably my favorite of the death scenes for sure. Just because how it feels like, I mean, later on especially, it feels like you're just jumping into like a Nightmare on Elm Street dream sequence, you know, like where this Inspector Ho right now he's dreaming and Freddy's having a good time with him right now.
Yeah. I mean, earlier you had Dumb Sis and Lady Killer die in the elevator, which was, I mean, that
good
was
dummy
fun
drops.
good dummy drops. So you got to love that part of it too. But
I loved it, but I feel like it should have been a little more splattery when they drop.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I thought like limbs would fly off or something.
Yeah, they was just kind of like lying there.
Yeah. I mean, especially since like they were, you know, the mean girls and like bullying her. Like they should have got, I mean, obviously they're dead, so there's that. But, you know, a little bit it would have been fun if maybe like she threw up some toilet water on them too. I don't know. Like she seems to like it.
I think one toilet water puke regurgitation scene was
well,
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
Is it?
I don't know. I don't know.
Enough?
It might not. After I watched this movie, I watched a YouTube documentary about Lucifer Valentine. So maybe I'm just thinking, oh, Slaughtered Vomit Dolls. That movie was gross, and I don't need any more puke in my life, especially people eating puke. So it's all relative, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm pouring it on top of your head too. Like that was just like cooling off. There was a lot going on in that scene.
There was a lot, and she was kind of like eating her own vomit.
Mm-hmm.
I can't abide that.
No, I mean, the first time I watched it, I think my jaw literally dropped. I was like, oh, okay, wow, because like she's not faking it. There literally is water that she is scooping from the toilet. I mean, unless like they had it like something in the toilet that we couldn't see from the angle it was shot. Like in my head,
it's probably just a fake toilet with fake.
I don't know. In my head, she's literally drinking toilet water. I would
Hong Kong in 1982.
I mean, it's true.
They're probably drinking out of a toilet.
Yeah.
They probably are.
Yeah.
But bonus points also for like towards the end of the movie where you get that weird soup with the eyeballs and the other body parts in it. I'm pretty sure I saw a nose or two in the soup as well.
Yeah.
So
it was Inspector. Was it Inspector Wong's or Inspector Ho's?
Yeah.
It was his remains. Yeah.
And then followed shortly by a weird scene with like some flaming spiked balls flying around.
Love it.
Yeah, the ending. I mean, let's go to the final ending. I mean, like this. This has a lot of the Shaw Brothers staples, which we've talked about: the worms, the slime. There's
a lot of animal deaths. There's two birds. You got a chicken, and then you got the bird in the cage. Then you got the snake,
the cobra. Yeah.
Maybe the dog. Like they implied that he shot it in his dream when he was in the office, but I didn't count that one. But
there's kind of this wizard battle at the end, and sort of in this ghost dimension that they're in. But yeah, it turns into
the ghost dimension and the car. There's the whole scene with the car where May is like trapped in the car, and the car is surrounded by like Buddhist iconography and symbols, and like the hopping vampire.
Yeah.
Little sticky notes are there. There's blood everywhere, and it's cross cutting with the surgery.
Right, and Koo, and the nurse getting raped and murdered in the shower.
Yeah, and that's weird because it starts off kind of humorous because it's not a rape at first. It's just kind of like a little ass grabbing, right? And like, why is that nurse's ass so exposed in the hospital? I don't know, but it was, and I mean, I guess
it's weird.
Good for him that he had a sexy nurse being like, "Hey, check it out," but like. It's inappropriate to grab a nurse's ass in the hospital, of course, but I couldn't help laugh at it because it's just so ridiculous.
Oh, I laugh.
And then all of a sudden, then all of a sudden she's in the shower and like it suggests she's sexually assaulted before she's killed in the shower too. And that's like the most exploitative moment of the film, I think, was like, I didn't see that coming because there isn't really any sex at all, except for like that weird bit in the background that I mentioned with the World War II flashback. Right. Mm-hmm. So you think compare that to a lot of the other Shaw Brothers films where there's like, they're making spells by shaving women's pubic hair off and like crazy stuff like that. This doesn't have that. And then it goes into like this one scene kind of out of nowhere with this nurse who has no character development whatsoever. I don't even know if she's named. She's just there. And then like she's the subject of like this completely gratuitous scene. And it almost felt to me like the directors, the producers or whatever, like, you know what, this is going well, but we need some weird sex stuff in this. And so it's kind of thrown in there at the last minute, maybe just to kind of check that box.
Yeah. Well, what I love about that scene in particular is, so he's on the surgery table and this is all happening while like the car is like the windows are rolling up, the car as itself is being turned into a talisman. And I fucking love it. Like I love that scene. And then she gets out and like you've got the 8 diagram,
like the fire
symbol,
pit,
fire pit thing going on. So Guy is on the surgery table and then he flatlines and the doctors just like shrug. They're like, oh, well, dead. No CPR. Just
no,
like
and they start taking all their shit off. They're like,
and then when he comes back to life is, he grabs her ass and then you have the sexual assault scene. I didn't know. I was like, who's assaulting her? Like, I didn't realize like he had split.
Right.
At this point,
like May is kind of splitting and doing the whole Evil Ash, Evil Dead thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's a good comparison.
I didn't understand. Like, I'm like, who's she's being assaulted by? Is like, are we going into like entity territory now? Like, what's happening? But like, completely out of nowhere. The ending is completely unhinged. You get twins, technically, kind of in a way.
Maybe, sort of, kind of, yeah.
So, but I love everything about this ending, about this movie, about how it just goes there.
The last 20
every aspect.
Yeah. The last 25 minutes are just fucking nuts. Yeah. Like it's as soon as they do that flashback scene, like as soon as that's introduced, first off, you're kind of in shock at what you just witnessed and they don't slow down, they're just like, just wait. Like,
yeah, no, I feel honestly like the middle stretch drags a little bit. But once you get to that final third of the movie, it's like, all bets are off. They're just going for it.
May starts turning into trees and into doors, and it feels that whole scene, that whole little, it's like I don't know, maybe a 5-minute period where I don't know if it was Koo at this point or Chung, where they're fighting, and it felt very like Nightmare on Elm Street dream sequence. Like it was just really wild.
Yeah.
Well, you could also tie in the whole weird bathtub scene in Nightmare on Elm Street a bit too.
Yeah, the crab thing. Yeah,
it's not a Freddy Krueger fright glove, but it's a. I still wouldn't want to be in the
Pinchy.
Yeah, it's still Pinchy. I wouldn't want to be naked in the tub with either one of those things.
Yeah, but does Nightmare on Elm Street have a coffin full of maggots?
Yeah, falling on. Yeah,
does
not have haunted toilet paper either.
Inferior.
Yes, completely inferior. It doesn't have a creepy song about poppies either.
That's true.
Yeah, that seems to be like a little throwback. Because that is one of my favorite scenes in the very beginning when May and her boyfriend are camping. She has that dream, and you see that little creepy. It's when the very end when the demon's all no, and flies away. It's great foreshadowing. It's super, super creepy.
Yeah,
and that song recurs like maybe 3 or 4 times throughout the movie, and it's a pretty song, I guess. But like when you look at the lyrics, you're like, oh, this is morbid.
Yeah. It is, which the whole movie is, and it works. Yeah, it totally works with all of it. Everything is just off the rails and over the top in this, and I think this is for me. This is definitely top 5 Shaw Brothers horror. I think.
Yeah, it's new to me still. I'm going to do another rewatch and stuff like they're a year later or so. But it's right away. I was just blown away by it because
it's really good. Top 5. I don't know. I'd have to sit down and like make a list and really give it more thought. It's good. It's really good. It's really good. One thing that I did notice that I thought was kind of atypical is there's no martial arts in it at all. There's a brawl, but like no one's using any like kung fu moves or anything like that. They're just kind of like shoving each other around. It's like a bar brawl type scene towards the end.
Yeah.
But no martial arts, though there is a martial arts coordinator credited. Yeah,
I saw that on the HK MDB. I was like, who's martial arts choreographer on this? Why? Like, what'd they do? I'm like, they got a paycheck. Good for them.
Yeah, you just hung out on set. One thing I want to mention, the ghost photograph.
Oh, yeah, with her on top. Yeah.
I thought this was super rad. And Have you guys seen Shudder, the Thai film from 2004?
No.
No.
Okay, so it's direct. I'm going to butcher these names. Co-directed by Banjong Pisanath. I can't do Thai names. I'm so sorry. Pisanthananka Parkpoom.
That's okay. We don't have any listeners in Thailand.
Yeah, and Wangpoom. So there is a sequence in that film that almost directly mimics the ghost sequence from this film. And I can't imagine that they weren't influenced by it. It would be a very strange coincidence. There's been stranger coincidences before, of course, and like spirit photography, ghost photography, it exists in Asia just like it exists in North America. So I guess it could be just a coincidence, but it's so close that I feel like these guys saw this movie and maybe incorporate a little bit about it. The other thing I want to mention, I don't know if either one of you tracked down the one sheet for the movie.
No, I want it though.
So the one sheet for the movie is gorgeous. It's May's face and Ah Chung's face in the top, lit in like a kind of a pinkish red.
Yeah.
With that weird, like kind of ceremonial dagger that looks like a letter opener, kind of dividing
like Pluto's stick or something. Pluto's
yeah. And then there's like some kind of like gold things in the background and like some Buddhist iconography in there that I probably don't understand. But I ran the Chinese language one sheet through Google Translate to figure out like what it's saying, because I don't speak Chinese. And the text on the left side and the right side of the screen say, a time where day and night are not distinguished, a state where yin and yang are not distinguished. And then on the other side, it says, a body that doesn't distinguish between life and death, a demonic world where humans and ghosts are indistinguishable. So distinguish shows up a lot on that one sheet, which is kind of weird. But yeah, the one sheet is beautiful. I would love to own one, but I can't find one for sale for less than $200. So I just have to make do with the high-res image I downloaded off of the internet.
There you go.
We didn't talk about the bullet. I thought the bullet scene was very, Ku has the fastest shutter speed ever on that camera to be able to catch it.
Some might say impossibly fast.
I kind of got like him being like a Jimmy Olsen figuring out. He's Jimmy Olsen figuring out May might be Superman. So that's like his whole like. Here we go.
I like what you're saying there. Yeah,
I'm not gonna break into Spin Doctor's Jimmy Olsen's blues.
That was actually the
Lance. What's in your pocket right now? Is it full of kryptonite?
No. After this, I think we should do Islands in the Stream duet. Just record it, and that's how we're gonna close it out.
I have a Spin Doctors story.
Well,
that's okay.
It doesn't directly involve the Spin Doctors. It's really short, so Erica doesn't want to hear it, but she's going to hear it anyway.
Right.
So when I was in high school and the Spin Doctors were really popular, I had really long hair, and I don't know, it was like the Lollapalooza era, and it was cool to wear a poncho.
Mm-hmm. At least I had a poncho.
Yeah, it was cool to wear a poncho. So
I lived in the Rio Grande Valley, though. I got it from Mexico.
I lived in Niagara Falls, Ontario. It had nothing to do with. There were no Mexicans that I'm aware of. It was just like, people who got like devil sticks and hacky sacks, and you should wear ponchos.
And listen to Spin Doctors.
Yeah, and the Spin Doctors were cool, but I was never really into the Spin Doctors per se. I was like listening to Nine Inch Nails because I was edgy, but I still looked kind of like a guy who might listen to Spin Doctors. And so anyway, I was walking down the stairs in high school one day, and my friend was walking the other direction. He's like, "Hey man, you look like the singer from the Spin Doctors." I was like, "Oh shit!" And I cut my hair after school. I never wore a poncho again.
That's probably a good call.
Yeah, you can edit that out if you want.
No, that stays. Everyone's got to know your history, Ian.
It's fine. I have no shame.
All right, with that, let's do double features, Ian. What would you pair with Hell Has No
Okay, so I get to go first. It's Kindergarten Cop 2. No, it's not. Parts of it reminded me of Carrie.
Yeah, I got that too.
Yeah, parts of it reminded me of Firestarter. Mm-hmm. But after literally kind of Google searching like some of the themes that the movie came up with and like looking for movies that worked on a similar level, I came up with Zalewski's Possession from 81.
Okay.
Because if you think about it, like both movies feature a woman kind of losing her sanity to something that's out of her control, a supernatural element, I guess you could say, and both feature some really over-the-top acting from the female leads. Hell Has No Boundaries, obviously a lot less hysterical than Possession is, but I feel like they kind of follow a similar path. They deal with similar themes and ideas, and they both feature very attractive actresses in the lead role.
I like it. That's good.
Yeah.
Eric?
So I'm going with another Hong Kong movie because I wanted to do keep with the possession theme in it. So I'm going with a movie from 1984 called Possessed 2. I don't even know if there is a first one. I think they just called it Possessed 2, which would track for Hong Kong. But this is about a family who moves into a new apartment because they get it for a great deal. but it turns out it's so cheap because it's haunted. Kind of similar to Sex Beyond the Grave in that way, but the wife and daughter become possessed by the spirits of the woman named Lucy and her son who died in the 1950s under kind of like fucked up circumstances. And so it has a lot more humor than Hell Has No Boundary, but it also has a lot more gore and nudity. So I think it kind of levels up in that respect. I think you could go either way with like which one plays first because they're both so unhinged. Either way goes, but I would go with Possessed 2 for a double feature.
Nice.
Ian, have you seen that one?
I have not. I'm writing it down because it sounds like I should.
It's fun. Lance, what about you? Double feature.
So a few films popped in my head. Obviously, with the Italian lighting, all the gross practical effects, I thought Luigi Cozzi's The Black Cat could just be a nice visual feast. The wild, unhinged kind of dreamlike quality had me think of Beyond Dream's Door for a bit.
Oh.
Just because it's complete chaos.
Oh, I can totally see that, yeah.
But then I actually saw somebody actually recommended that as a double feature, and I don't want to steal theirs.
I steal all the time.
Oh.
I cheat all the time. I lie all the time. I steal. Like you gotta like let your evil side in a little bit more, Lance.
Well, yeah,
it can't always be me.
Well, it's out there. That's out. Beyond Dream's Door is a good one.
Fine.
But I did
Erica's solving Rubik's cubes.
Yeah, she's. There's toilet paper floating around me right now. What is happening?
Man, I got the extra strong Charmin, so you better fucking watch out.
I thought the same thing that Ian had just mentioned too. De Palma's Carrie with the child with the powers. Obviously, there's a terrible mother in both of these. The terrible mother in the flashback for Hell Has No Boundary. And I'm sticking along those lines. And you mentioned it, Firestarter, 1984 one.
Oh.
Nice.
Child having, kind of not having complete control over their powers, but still kind of getting what they want to using them to get what they want. The scene that really did it, there's a couple scenes in Hell Has No Boundaries that really did it for me. May, when she's drinking the puke and fighting, the sister trying to exorcise her Inspector Wong, her brother. We get this close-up shot of her with her hair blowing and this light shining bright behind her. Mm-hmm. And it's very kind of Drew Barrymore with kind of like a stoic stare causing that death and damage.
Yeah.
That happens a few times.
Yeah, that stare, that Leanne Liu stare. But you mentioned those flaming maces too, and that kind of looked like those flaming balls that she controls at the end of Firestarter. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they both kind of end in this fiery madness, this huge burning fire. So also May, like Charlie, can control bullets. So May, Charlie That's detonates true. Bullets at the end and stuff. So yeah, Firestarter, I'm gonna stick with that one.
If one of you had picked Possession, Firestarter was going to be my number 2 pick.
Oh,
nice. Yeah.
So I have a story about Prodigy, the band that sang Firestarter.
I'm the Firestarter.
I'm just kidding. I don't have a story about it
come
at
on.
all. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't have anything.
Make one up.
To this.
You can't leave us hanging.
I can make one up. I broke up with a guy who said that was his favorite band. I don't know.
That's a good story. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody have any other good stories they want to share?
I tried to come up with something to share, but I'm gonna be the loser in this.
How much time you got?
We got the raccoons. We got the Noid hostage situation. We got Spin Doctors, and we got Erica breaking up with a Prodigy fan.
Mm-hmm.
I think that about covers it.
Okay, that's fair.
First off, Ian, thanks for being on Shawgust. Thanks for everybody for participating with our month of Shawgust. But we're moving into September.
Yes.
What's our next pick?
So next pick is one that I have had on my potentials for the podcast list for a very, very long time. And luckily, this got a Blu-ray release in a box set.
Oh.
Which I don't own, but it is on Tubi for the people like me who don't own the box set. Tubi. So we are going to be covering Eloy de la Iglesia's The Glass Ceiling from 1971. This has a lot of very apt comparisons to Rear Window. Lance, I'm speaking Lance's language right now, as well as very Giallo flavored. So this is about a woman named Marta. She lives with her husband, Charles, on a property that's owned by Richard, who's a sculptor. When Charles goes out of town for work, Marta becomes like a stir-crazy busybody at home and she starts to hear and see strange things and suspects that her upstairs neighbor, Julia, has killed her own husband. There's a photography element in this as well. So hence, again, like the rear window aspect of it. It builds really slowly, but it never feels like it's moving slowly. It's really interesting in that way. So I just watched this last week when I saw it was finally on Tubi. It is on the House of Psychotic Women Volume 2 box set, if anybody has that and has not watched it yet.
You should watch it.
Yeah, but
Really
if you don't have the set, it's on Tubi. And as of this recording, it has 782 views on Letterboxd. So I got to it before it cracked 1,000. Very excited about that.
It's a good film. It's a very good film.
I've never seen it.
I watched it when the box set came out, and I don't know. Dylan Glacia, his filmography, like Severin's been doing a great job uncovering a lot of that stuff.
Yeah,
I really appreciate the fact that they're putting it out there, because until they started, digging through his stuff, I really only knew him from the same film everybody else knows him from, right?
Yeah,
Candleman. So it's
I
cool.
love that movie.
Yeah,
it's a great movie. Yeah, but this is Lance. You haven't seen it?
I have not seen The Glass Ceiling.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm excited for this too. Like, and I saw that you had seen this and talked about it, but they also Severin also put out the Pinchy set, which is like his like youth gone wild kind of movies. So we have that. I haven't watched any of those yet. So I'm going to dig into those, watch that. I'm excited to talk about this, but want to reiterate to, what Lance said, thanks to everyone who participated in Shawgust. I know I wasn't as active in it this month as we have been in the past, but I appreciate everyone who, even if you weren't sharing in our Discord, I did see a lot of people I follow on Letterboxd watching Shaw Brothers movies and using the Shawgust hashtag, which I feel like I should trademark at this point.
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be money in it somehow. Like, I need a way to quit my job. I know I just got one. I know, but I'm already like, ugh, like back to work.
Yeah, you need to trademark that shit. You need to copyright.
There's no way to make money off of it. It's, and again, to reiterate, Ian, we love having you every year. Thank you so much for coming back and talking about this movie, sharing your stories about, warrior raccoons.
No, anytime. I love being on here. You guys are great. Even the episodes I'm not on, I listen to, because the podcast is just a lot of fun. And it's hit me to a couple of movies I've not been aware of before, which is always a treat.
That's what we want to hear. Ian, you run Rock Shock Pop, which we've talked about every time you're here, and we love it. Everyone should check out that forum.
Celebrating its 15th birthday in a couple months.
15th. Holy
Wow,
shit.
nice.
Congrats on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything and everything you love concerning music, movies, comics. It's a cool site.
Yeah, check it out, because really, I'm not going to lie, social media has beat the shit out of the site, and it is some days challenging to keep it going.
Yeah.
But I'm going to keep doing it as long as I'm having fun with it, and I'm still having fun with it. So, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah. And that site's fun, and social media is not fun.
I agree.
Speaking of someone who has left all the things that I can at this point. So, but speaking of social media, where can folks find you to follow you on social media, Ian?
Me? I'm on Twitter at rockshockpop.com. I just post links. I don't interact there because it's Twitter and fuck that shit. But Blue Sky, same handle. Instagram, IanJane75. That's not really movie related. It's mostly me posting pictures of beers that I'm drinking or comics that I'm reading.
And your podcast.
Yeah.
And my podcast, yeah, you can do queenscomicparty.com, which is the website for a comic book show in the New York City area that my friend runs, that I help him with. And my friend who does that, his name is Billy, and Billy and I do a podcast on Spotify and YouTube. We try to do it every week, but we're a month behind because I was on vacation and he got sick. Called the Queens Comic Podcast, because it's just two guys from Queens sitting around talking about comics they like. It's very informal. It's banter. If you like witty banter about comic books, then that's the show for you.
Oh yeah.
Perfect. And if you're not already, you can follow our podcast on Instagram at Unsung Horrors. I'm on Letterboxd at Hex Massacre. I'm on Instagram too, Hex Massacre.
Yeah, I'm on both those platforms at El Schibi.
Thanks once again to Ian for joining us, and thanks everyone for listening. We'll see you back next episode for The Glass Ceiling. Bye.
Hooray. Thank you for having me.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Hello and welcome to Tumbleweeds and TV Cowboys. My name is Hunter. In this podcast, I'll be joined by a different guest each week to discuss a classic Western movie or TV show. I've been a fan of classic Westerns for as long as I can remember, and in recent years, they've become very nostalgic for me. I love the aesthetic, the tropes, and I love seeing different filmmakers' takes on them. At their best, they're incredibly entertaining, rewatchable, and some of my all-time favorite movies are Westerns. We'll mostly focus on Western movies made in Hollywood, but we'll also be covering spaghetti Westerns, and one thing I'm very excited to get into are Western TV shows. I've got some amazing guests coming on the show, film professors, historians, and podcasters. And Tumbleweeds and TV Cowboys is part of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network, and many guests on the show will be from other shows on the network. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening. To hear more shows from the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network, please select the link in the description